why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here.
The raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the
Farewell now.
We're all in this together.
I just feel sad for prudence dictates.
Auntie's choice is an invasive
we
species.
reject individualism, separately and together.
Natural resources represent a fascinating, complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch, working with and through the sovereign, devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Invasive species can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem.
There must be at least a few usable parts in here. Aha! Ah, it's warped. Just like everything else. Hello there. You wouldn't happen to have found any usable parts in all this debris? Westport's stockpiles of replacement parts are nearly depleted. I need to find some parts to convert some of our auto-mechanicals, non-combat parts. Fortunately, there's nothing here that's salvageable. Auntie's bombs sure take their toll, don't they? Let's just say to fill Westport's needs. If you follow the road heading north, you can't miss it. Used to be a sight to behold, but the war hasn't been kind to it. To any of us. True enough. A few years ago, I couldn't have imagined us running short of anything. And now here I am, digging through scrap for parts. But I digress. Was there anything else? Need to get back to my hunt, you understand? Yes and no. The bomb certainly took a fierce toll, but I suspect these were all in various states of disrepair even before Auntie's offensive, which has made sorting out where to begin my efforts here rather difficult. There should be a manifest somewhere, but it's nowhere to be found. Nor are the troopers who should have been escorting this. Or their bodies. These were stalwart defenders of the Protectorate we're talking about here. Not the spineless stumblewits that comprise the forces of Auntie's choice. No. Some other unfortunate fate has befallen them. Could have been any manner of terror brought upon us by Aunties. Unless I missed my guess, this looks like it was transporting damaged and malfunctioning automechs from the Vox station to the Automech Repair Center to the south of here. The center is... So you don't work for Andes, do you? This is beginning to feel more than a little like you're digging for intelligence. Fair enough. As I was saying, the Automech Repair Center is south of here. Regrettably, subjects of Westport no longer have access to the repair center, hence my need to scavenge. Likewise, and please inform me if you happen upon any usable parts.
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for xeranium gas. We sprung a leak. Nothing too bad. Aside from the headaches, nightmares, missing teeth, and headaches. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
Prudence dictates. Outsider. We cherish all we have and defend it.
Prudence dictates. We cherish all we have and defend it.
That matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
What in the name of the architect? Oh, right. My guards told me to expect a new arrival, right before our chief mechanist decided to harangue me with the latest on our catastrophe.
Marshal, you're acting as though I'm not standing here auguring the impending doom of this facility.
Woodrow, normally I would be obliged, nay, happy, to receive your senseless jawing. But not today. Perhaps this outsider can assist where you've failed. I hope you've come to help, because a crisis is bearing down on us, and I've a dearth of reliable hands with which to manage it. You see, Woodrow, why, at this rate, we'll have the facility up and running in little to no time.
That's what scares me, Marshal.
Like you, me and my consternated head technician are new arrivals. Though we may not last long if we fail to repair the xeranium leak. I wouldn't have put it in those terms, but I appreciate someone who speaks their mind. The Vox relay station needs our automechs, But until that leak is fixed, this facility is a target for the sport of Auntie's armaments. Delphinia Bryant is working on a prototype Zeranium shield. Whoever uses it will be less disposable and more useful to the Protectorate. What did I tell you, Woodrow? The situation's well in hand.
Marshal, those automechs have been corrupted with Zeranium. I can't even cogitate on what they're capable of if we lack the time or resources to approach this rationally. Should they go berserk, we may well be turning the very subject you intend to resupply into their victims. We'd be branded as traitors.
Then perhaps you had better explain to Brigadier Montelli why his defenses are grounded. And you can do so personally, in the comfort of his office.
Montelli? I rescind my objection. May the delicate workings of the paradigm point us toward a better way.
There's a good fellow. Cleave to your loyalty, and it will never steer you wrong. I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Whether or not you're able to help us, I'm grateful to have an extra set of eyes on the problem. Zeranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. I don't think anything. Leak or no leak, we can't abandon our post. The Doctor's Zeranium shield is how we outlast this conflict. My people are fighting a war on two fronts. Anti on one side and Zeranium on the other. I can fight Anti, but I can't fight Zeranium. What else would disrupt the harmony of our perfect system? Anti's choice, of course. A chance shot hit the wrong pipe early into their assault. Zeranium wreaks havoc on automechanicals. Every combat-ready mech in the repair hangar was overcharged and beset with behavioral problems. Further damage soon occurred. True, the facility was disrupted, but it was not undone. The Protectorate saw to that. When disorder looms its ugly head, the Protectorate relies on its people to maintain and restore that order. See our acting quartermaster, Hazel. She'll know where the parts are and attend to the transaction. The situation, while I trust that Brigadier Montelli has everything well in hand, loyalty and no matter. This fit the old. Now, their burden is mine.
Unfamiliar clientele. I was just lamenting the lack of new faces around here since supplies stopped arriving. And then you walk in. Name's Hazel. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. You need any supplies? Talk to my friend the quartermech here. passed during the attack. Got his face melted clean off by this weird goo. And he was one of the lucky ones. Excuse the mess, by the way. Auntie gave us a pummeling a few weeks back. The old wardens paid the price. Where their courage faltered, a little mental refreshment should do just the trick. This is the Protectorate, after all, where perfection is achieved through discipline, not mercy. Now what'll it be? You'd think that a fully stocked auto-mechanical repair center would have automech parts, and 9 times out of 10 you'd be spot on. Trouble is, a bunch of supplies went missing recently, right around the time the quartermech completed a routine inventory. As a matter of fact, yes. Recently, when the crates by the wall got too high, it began stacking supplies on the catwalk above.
Protectorate automechanicals feature advanced construction but low adaptability. Fall-throughs in its logic assembly would likely lead it to interpret its programming literally.
Logic can be a funny thing, you understand. One misstep can have the most peculiar results. Doubtful. Zeranium affects their aggression and targeting subroutines. Basic instructions would still be functional. The quartermech is my responsibility. Claim whatever parts you require from the missing supplies, and we'll call the matter settled. Delphinia's lab would be the place to search. We use it for storage, and our records indicate the supplies were present and accounted for.
Standard Earth Directorate protocol calls for a thorough grid search of the premises, Commander. Those parts are bound to turn up somewhere.
Are you acquainted with Delphinia? She's a scientist on loan from the Vox Relay, helping with the Zeranium leak and all. Delphinia is not very nice. Or maybe she just doesn't like me personally. Anyway, she's very talented, and I'm glad she's helping out. And I'm never going within 10 feet of her again. Best of luck in your search. Let me know if I can be of assistance. All right, while he's under construction, come to me for any supplies you might need. Glad to hear it. Any progress? Don't be a... See you soon, I hope.
Might be wise to get that large gas cloud a wide berth. If there's anything
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now what is it you want? Now that you mention it, there was one particularly insistent little mech who kept trying to put all manner of bric-a-brac in here. After several firm remonstrations, I told it the interior of this building is off-limits while I am working here. Didn't see that peculiar little scamp again after that. Ah, our good Marshal sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected. Assist me, and you'll get more than bits out of the equation. You'll get a prototype shield gadget, the first of its kind. Now tell me, are you familiar with Zeranium gas? I haven't time to prattle unnecessarily, no. But my current project is of utmost importance. An active discussion is sometimes known to lead to a breakthrough. I could speak at length about Zeranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from Zeranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Quite splendidly, if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely need to work out some minor implementation concerns. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Bits? Is that what this is about? Assist me in bringing the device to completion, and I should have enough material to fashion an additional prototype for you. I imagine a protective field that screens all manner of environmental hazards, not to mention bullets, blades, and other injurious miscellanea, might be of use in one's travels. But if you're unmoved or apathetic for some witless, unsensical reason, I'm sure I can find a way to make it all work eventually. Suppose I shouldn't expect every average wayfarer to appreciate the extent of what I'm offering. But fine, I'll provide additional monetary incentive if such is what you require. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray Zeranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a Zeranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense Zeranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Oh, so exhilarating.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Zeranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displayed standard overload-induced paralysis, then became atypically aggressive. Forced to terminate test model.
What brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack.
Zeranium poisoning. Only a mild case, but the doctors are withholding treatment. Study my symptoms.
Sovereign's mercy. How do you feel?
Downright privileged is how I feel. Sick with pride, nauseous with courage, and chronically fatigued with...
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of Zeranium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. The Marshal is under a lot of pressure to deliver automechs to the Vox relay station, but I'm responsible for their quality control. If even a single automech steps out of line, it will be the end of me. Zeranium-corrupted automechs open fire on Protectorate soldiers, and I end up in the darkest bowels of mental refreshment. I'd rather not find that out the hard way. The Marshal is a good man, but he values speed while I value accuracy. Neither of us is wrong, but in this case, we both can't be right. Hazel should get you sorted right quick, assuming she has the parts. She's right between the barracks and the main gate. Can't miss her.
Not sure we should get any closer.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate Zeranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. Capital deduction! Where have you been all my career? You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. You guessed correctly. Our chief mechanist was rather hostile to the idea. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we don't want to be caught defenseless. No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with Zeranium poisoning. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this. Failing that, be prepared to exercise. One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that ensued. Well, off you go. Shoo.
If you need something, kindly make it quick. She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand. The original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed because they couldn't safeguard a protectorate asset. Why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working Dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic scrap? I can't. I won't. That's a fair point. It's not as if they've come back to finish the job. Perhaps they assume we're already beaten. All right, how's about we get the Dragoon situated over here, so I can extract its vital organ. One catalytic amplifier as agreed. I hate to lose another Dragoon, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Not a chance. Donaldson has done everything in his power to get this facility online. He can't blame me for doing the same. Be seeing you, stranger.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zeranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. Of course, our little agreement. How could I forget? Your payment as promised. I'm almost ashamed to admit it, but I didn't think you'd last long enough to collect it, which is the only reason I agreed to such a thing naturally.
What can I do for you this time? I knew Dr. Bryant would come through for us, that she'd prove her worth as surely as any subject of the Protectorate would. Seeing as you're the only one trained in the use of that gadget, what say you put it through its paces? Make your way inside the repair hangar and find the control terminal to purge the Zeranium. And be careful with that terminal. We don't want the situation getting any worse.
Sequencing attack strategy.
Commencing.
I hope you brought me good news, outsider. At last, the tide is shifting. Today, we fix our automechanicals. Tomorrow, we push the unprincipled interlopers of Auntie's choice into the sea. You've done us a great service, stranger, and I would see your efforts rewarded. Alas, we don't have much to offer since our supplies are so low. I hope these bits will suffice. We confiscated them from the corpses of the scouts who attempted to infiltrate this facility a few weeks back. It carries the invaders' taint, but it should spend just the same. Perhaps you're right. Accept this with my gratitude. Now I can show our chief mechanist that he was wrong, and a little Zeranium poisoning won't do those automechs any harm.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Look who's back.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich
Welcome back. Ah, the itinerant stranger returns. That is most excellent. Please, hand them over.
Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species...
Sincerest thanks. Now, we had what you outsiders call a deal. I promised you a means past the bridge and a way inside the Vox relay. There is wreckage from a crashed ship traversing most of the expanse. With the right equipment, the path will lead you directly to the Vox Relay's main gate. Tell me, do you already have Protectorate jump boots in your possession? That's what I knew them as. The official title is Personal Plasma Thrusters, I suppose. No, but we have an outpost up at Spire Grove. Requires a lot of cliff work. They likely have a prototype there. I'll prepare a writ of conscription to allow you entry to the Vox Relay. While most would refuse my authorization, the sentry assigned to the gate once lived in Westport. Sentry second-class layman. Show the writ as proof I have conscripted you into my employ. Use it to press service on my behalf, and she will let you in. Once you're inside, there's someone else you should show it to. You do that and say what I tell you. It saved many lives. We are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity. I can't offer you anything for it, but you've proven yourself sympathetic to our cause. Consider you a compatriot now. I'm counting on you to do right by folks here once more. Hopefully, you'll return afterward and find Westport thriving, all on account of your efforts. That is the only reward I'm able to offer.
Epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it.
The Vox Relay is, to my mind, a time bomb. Brigadier Montelli's lost his way. Now all manner of chaos is raging there. I've heard tell he's even resorted to extra-legal executions. Madness, I tell you. A brigadier doesn't act as judge, jury, and executioner. That's an arbiter's job. And even then, they're enforcing existing protectorate law.
We all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and plenty.
Marshal Corbin. As with all my subjects, I have been there when he needed me. I trust we can call on him now to do his part. Seek him out at the Vox Relay, conscript him with the writ, and this is important. You must convince him to kill Montelli. Corbin will want to talk him down, to take him into custody, to message superiors outside the facility beforehand. We cannot allow any of that to happen.
You are the raw material for perfection.
If Corbin becomes the highest-ranking officer alive, no one will be able to contradict his accounting of events. The Protectorate execute connivers and schemers. Corbin must appear forced to take down Montelli in the moment. It cannot feel like a plotted coup. Good, good. Here is the writ. I may not survive to see what occurs, but I trust you to follow your conscience. Farewell now. Promise you'll return here if you can, to check in on my people and see how they fare.
Ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch working with and through the sovereign devised the...
Nobody needs go anywhere. Not when we can still save Westport. We of the Protectorate endure as one, regardless of any hardships we must face. It'd have to be catastrophically obvious this place was doomed, and incontrovertibly beyond my means to save it, before I'd even consider such a recourse. Well, that's what's commonly referred to as your opinion. Farewell now.
Within Anti's choice. Though don't fret, the system is resilient. The system abides. But now